Hi, welcome to Scriptures Unveiled. So we're continuing and on Daniel, and right now we're on verse 10, 1:10. And we went through half of it last time, but we're going to recap and add a little bit more to it.
Yes.
So it says, and the commander of the officials said to Daniel, I am afraid of my lord, the king, who has appointed your food and drink. So let's just start right there.
Yeah, let's start. So we were saying how the official, he was afraid to allow Daniel not to go with the king's choice food. And
right, the food and drink, which
wine.
we said was part of the world system. It's learning this.
It's learning this. It's the judgment. It's eating from the judgment of this world.
Right.
Yes.
It's the judgment of this world.
And Daniel didn't want to defile himself. So now we see that we were talking about the eunuch and how he is a picture of separation from God. Mm-hmm. And when you're separated from God, you're eating that judgment of this world, and you're literally thinking that it is better. And so then the judgment that's of God, which is
righteous and holy and clean and innocent. It's innocent and flawless.
Yes. It's already completed. It's our oneness with God. Mm-hmm. So what happened is he was afraid. Like literally. You know, it said that I am afraid of my Lord, the king, and that Lord is lowercase and the king is lowercase there because he's seeing through the eyes of this world and the judgment of this world. And whenever you eat from the judgment of this world, there's a fear that comes in, and he's fearful to allow Daniel to, not be defiled. And when we take the judgment of this world, we literally think it's the judgment of God. I hear a lot of people seeing God through the eyes of the judgment of this world.
Yes.
And it keeps us separated from Him.
Yes, it does. And so the next part of this, it's talking about the faces.
Yeah.
Because he says that the king who has appointed food and drink, for why should he see your faces looking worse than the youths who are your own age?
Yep, he was. Once again, he was thinking, eat from the king's food and his wine, the king of this world.
Yes.
Eat from the judgment of this world. That's what he's saying. And he's thinking that your face, your outer appearance is going to look better, than eating from who we truly are.
Exactly.
So that's why he was so scared. Because he's like, hey.
So he's basically saying it's better to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Yes.
That it's more safe.
It's safer.
We're safer under that tree.
Yes.
And they think it's better to have judgment.
Yes.
That they do better under judgment.
And that separation from God. Yes.
Yeah, because we hear people say, oh no, don't go so far, they hear little things and they're like, oh no, we can't go there.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. They're not open to just explore everything and allow the Holy Spirit in them, the Christ's mind.
Yes.
Yeah, from within to reveal to them.
Yes.
Truth.
And history repeats itself because the Israelites were the same way when they were going to the mountains. Send Moses, they were very afraid. To go there, to go to their higher self.
Yes.
So they stayed in the lower plains because it was safe.
It was safe.
Yes. And then he went on to say, he was fearful that if he allowed Daniel to eat from them, he said, then you would make me forfeit my head to the king. He was fearful that he would be beheaded. Like if your faces doesn't look the same as the one that's eating from the king's, then it's going to be my head.
Right. And we didn't really say even what faces means.
Yes.
So faces was to turn the inside.
To inward. That face in Hebrew means inward. Inside.
Yes. And that's powerful. That's why I wanted to bring that in. I didn't want to overlook that part.
No, that's true.
Yeah. So that's looking in.
Looking inward. That
and
face
it literally means
parts.
to turn inside.
To turn inward. It actually means inward part, and when you break down in its roots, it means to turn inward.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's awesome.
Not seeing God anymore outside, but inward, to turn face to face inwardly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so then he was talking about forfeiting his head.
Yes. So he was fearful that his head, he would be beheaded. And we were saying that be beheaded.
Yeah, because
Yes.
fear kept him there.
It did.
And he was resisting the beheading.
Yes.
But in actuality, it's spiritual. There's a picture here of the ego, the pride, that in
Being the head.
being the head,
Rather than
right,
Christ's mind.
over the divinity.
Yes.
That is in us, because we have the ego and divinity.
Yes.
And that he's not allowing the lower thinking, that's
Yes.
from the ego,
Yes.
to be beheaded,
Yes.
which needs to be beheaded,
It
like
does.
you said.
Because that lower is trying to lead. The lower self is trying to lead, but it's the Christ mind, the higher self, that needs to be the head. So what do you do to the one that's trying to head or lead? You tear it off
Tear
so
it
that the
off, cut it
divinity,
off.
the higher self can be the head, can
Right.
be the leader. So this is what does keep a lot of people in eating that judgment, is that fear of being beheaded, because they're allowing the lower self to lead in so many areas.
Yeah. And so that's
It's really good.
it's really powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
So we were talking ego before, so I want to
Yes.
make sure they know a little bit about
Yeah.
ego. So we're talking about, we really need ego,
We do.
in this world. That's how we function. But it
Yes.
is a lower type of thinking.
Yes.
And it does, there's the ego and the divinity in us, and those are the things that are kind of at war.
Yes.
And so we coming to a point where we know who we are is when the ego bows and serves the divinity. And it's not the other way around.
Yes.
Where the ego goes over the divinity.
Yes.
And so it's
And the divinity is the God in us. It's not the God outside. It's the God that lives within
us.
We are like God.
Right.
Yes.
So
Our
yeah.
oneness. Yes.
And so I just wanted to clear that up a little
Yeah,
bit,
that was a
because
good one.
I had started bringing in ego.
I know. Our
And so,
verbiage.
anyways, thank you for joining us. We're going to go a little bit further in Daniel next time.
Thank you. Please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and make a comment.